Hello everyone, this is Deepak Pokhariyal, and once again I'm here with a new lesson from class 12 Flamingo, the fourth chapter, The Rat Trap, written by Selma Legeloff. Now let us first discuss the theme of this chapter. It has two themes. Number one, the essential goodness in a human being can be awakened through understanding and love. And the second theme is human loneliness. We'll see these two themes when we discuss the story. Now, look at its important characters. The first character, and who is also the protagonist of this story, is the peddler. He is a poor man. He sells rat traps for a living, but he does not earn enough, so he also um, relies on petty thievery and begging. The next character is the crofter. He is a minor character but very important one. He is a simple, trusting person who is robbed by the peddler. Now the Iron Master. He is a stern taskmaster. He is a law-abiding person. He mistakes the peddler for his friend and takes him home. He trusts him due to his daughter's persuasion. And now the fourth character, and also very important character, is the Iron Master's daughter Edla. Edla is a compassionate lady, she is a kind lady, and it is her love and compassion which changes the peddler and turns him into a very good person. Now let us see the summary. The rat trap peddler and his thoughts about the world. So, as I've already said, that rat trap peddler is a man who sells rat traps. Now, this man is called by many other names in the story, like the rat trap, the peddler, the ragamuffin, and vagabond. And towards the end of the story, he will adopt a new name for him, so that we'll see in the end. And this rat trap peddler sells rat traps. Now, those rat traps are also made by him with the material which he got by begging at iron farms. And he was not a very skilled man, and so the rat traps which he made, they were also not of very good quality. And also, he did not sell many of them, so he did not have enough money to support him. So, to keep his body and soul together, as it is written in the chapter, keeping body and soul together means for his survival. For his survival, he had to resort to petty thievery and begging. Now, um, his appearance was also not very good. He was wearing rags, and his cheeks were sunken, and his eyes, through his eyes, the hunger gleamed. So one could tell that he was hungry, he needed food, he needed shelter, and one could see this in his eyes. Now, one day, while going around, a very interesting thought crept into his mind. He compared this world with his rat traps. He said that as he is carrying these rat traps, and these rat traps offer cheese as a bait for the rats, and rats get attracted to get that cheese and they get trapped. Similarly, he said that this world is a big rat trap, and it also offers bait in form of joys and comforts. And whenever a man is tempted and he tries to get these joys and comforts, he gets trapped into those, in the world, in the big rat trap. And because this world had always given him very bad treatment, he got no respect, no love, no comfort from this world. So when he was thinking ill about this world through his philosophy, he got comfort and he was amused and he was very happy. Now, Crofter comes into the scene. So one dark evening, the peddler was going along the road and he saw a small grey cottage, and he thought of asking for a shelter for the night. He tapped at the door, and to his surprise, an old man opened the door and he welcomed the vagabond. Now, this was something strange for him because never in his life he was welcomed so warmly. And this so happened because this crofter was also, as I told, the one of the themes of this story is human loneliness. So this crofter was a victim of human loneliness. He did not have any wife or children, and he was a talkative man, but he did not have anyone to talk to. So when he saw this vagabond, he was very happy. He invited him to his cottage, and he offered him food, he offered him tobacco, he played a game of cards with him, and he also shared his secrets with the peddler. So, this, um, and then at night, yeah, one thing more. He also told about his life. He said that when he was young and he could work, and those were the days of his prosperity, he worked at Ramsjo Iron Works, and he was a crofter there. And he said that now he had a cow to support him, and by selling the cow's milk he earned his money. And not just this, he showed the money earned by selling the cow's milk to the vagabond. There was a pouch hanging by the window, beside the window. He took that pouch uh, down from the nail and took out three 10 kroner notes, wrinkled notes, and showed them to the peddler to make him believe what he was saying, and then put the money back and put that pouch back on the wall. This was a simple man, and he did not know that he showed the money to a thief. Now the next morning, when both of them they woke up, both of them they came out of the cottage. The crofter locked the cottage and they parted on their ways. But after half an hour, the peddler came back, and he knew where that pouch was, money pouch was. So he smashed the window, put his hand in, took out the pouch, took out the money, put the money in his pocket, and put the pouch back on the nail, and he went away. So this is what happened. This is how we took those 30 kronors from the crofter. Now, now the now a turning point comes. The vagabond, he was very pleased with his smartness initially, and he was a little bit afraid of getting caught by police. So he avoided walking on the highway, and he turned into a jungle. He turned into wood. Now he did not know that that would be a big mistake he was making, because that jungle was very big and confusing, and for some time it was okay, but later on he realized that he got confined in that jungle. For some time he thought of walking in a definite direction, but there were turns and twists, and later on he found that he was walking in the same part of the forest. Now, as the day progressed, um, towards the evening, he started thinking that now he was caught in a rat trap. Now he started thinking of his philosophy, and he started cursing himself, and he thought that those 30 kronos were the bait which he got attracted to, and now he was in this jungle, and this jungle was a big prison with its trees, trunks, branches. So he was confined in it. Now, now it is time for the Iron Master to come into this story. So how it happened? The rat trap seller, he was exhausted. He was tired. He was dead tired, and he fell to the ground. And he thought that his last moment had come, and he was on the ground waiting for his death. Then suddenly he started hearing a thumping sound, a regular thumping sound, and because he was an experienced man, he knew that that thumping sound must be coming from an iron mill. That was a silver lining he had, and he summoned all his strength. Somehow he dragged himself towards the direction of the sound, and he reached the forge. He reached the iron mill. It was raining, it was very cold outside, and through the creaks of the walls of that iron mill coming the light. So he thought of going in and getting some warmth, finding some place to spend the night. He entered the forge without any difficulty because nobody noticed him, and because there were sounds coming from the forge and nobody noticed him. He entered, and the iron master was a haughty person. So, without saying a word, through the glances of his eyes, he asked for the permission from the iron master to stay there for the night. And the iron master, without any word, nodded his head and gave his permission. So, that ragamuffin, that peddler, he he secured a place for him in that forge. Now, the iron master came there for his inspection. Iron master was a hard taskmaster, and every night and every day he would take a round of his mill. When iron master came here for his nightly inspection, he saw that somebody was there. He looked at the peddler, and somehow he mistook him for his old regimental comrade, and he addressed him as Niels Olof. He called him Neil Olof, the Iron Master. The Vagabond, he realized that the Iron Master was making a mistake, but he did not clarify that confusion. And why? Because the Vagabond thought that he might get some money from this Iron Master. So he did not clarify the confusion, and Iron Master kept talking to him. The Iron Master invited him home, but the Vagabond did not want to go to the Iron Master's home because he thought there was a danger in it. Now, the Iron Master thought that because this friend of his was wearing these rags, and that is why he's embarrassed and he does not want to come his home, so Iron Master, to give him some comfort, he said that his wife was dead, his sons, they were settled abroad. He said that there was no one at his home, only his daughter was there, and uh, they would be very happy if he would join them. But the Vagabond continually refused the offer, the invitation. At the end, the Iron Master gave in and he went home. But he had not completely given. He had not completely given in. He sent his daughter to persuade the Vagabond to come to their home. And this daughter was very kind and gentle. When she came there, she talked very nicely with that Vagabond, and somehow she took him into her confidence, and the Vagabond was ready to come to Iron Master's home. And she offered him a fur coat to wear, and to everyone's surprise, those who were in the forge, um, working there, earlier they thought that he was a vagabond and they were not giving him much importance. Later on, they came to know that uh, he was a friend to their owners. So this is how the peddler, he went to the ironmaster's home. Now, the next morning at the breakfast table, the daughter, Edla, she expressed her doubts about the peddler. Only they were there, her father and she was there. And she said that by looking at the peddler, she did not find him an educated person. She said that he was looking like a thief. She saw in his eyes a terror. But to this, the Iron Master said that she might have had this impression of the peddler because he was very tired, because he was not wearing good clothes, because he was going through a very bad phase of life. And Iron Master said that after he had bathed, he had shaved, um, he had had some good food, um, you would see a completely changed person. And then Iron Master was very happy with the thought of helping one of his friends. He also shared with his daughter the idea of giving him good food, helping him gain some health, and then finding for him some vocation which is better than selling the rat traps. So, this is how the Iron Master was very happy, but this happiness was only for some time, because as soon as the peddler came and joined them at the dining table, Iron Master realized that he had made a mistake, because in the night, in the forge light, he could not recognize that he was not his friend. But now, in a broad daylight, after that man had shaved, after that man had put on the good clothes, he was wearing one of Iron Master's suit. So the Iron Master realized that no, he had made a mistake, that Vagabond was not his friend. And at this the Iron Master got very angry. But the peddler was very calm. He did not try to um, say any more that he did not try to do anything actually. Rather, he said that it was not his mistake. He told the Iron Master that he never said that he was his friend Neil Olaf. But at this, Iron Master uh, was not Iron Master was not satisfied. He said that that the peddler did not clear his confusion, that the peddler did not clarify that he was not Neil Olaf. At this, the peddler said that okay, fine, nothing had been lost. He said that I could still go away. I can. He said that he could return his clothes to him, put on his old clothes, and go away. The Iron Master said that the peddler was a cheater and he should call police. He should take him to the sheriff, the policeman. At this, peddler got very angry, and in his anger, he struck the table, the dining table, and said that this world, you know, shared his philosophy with the Iron Master that this world is a big rat trap, and someday the Iron Master would also be tempted to touch the bait and would be doomed. The Iron Master found this very funny. He started laughing and he said, okay, fine, I will not give you to sheriff. You just go away. But here comes the Edla. Edla, she's kind, she's um, she's full of love, so she did not find it very good. She did not think that it was very good on their part that they first invited someone to their home and now they are asking him to leave. So she went to the door, she stopped the vagabond from going out of their house, and she told her father that it was them who invited the peddler, and it was the time of Christmas. This was the Christmas time, and in a Christmas, it was an opportunity for them to give him, give the peddler some comfort and some food, some joy. Um, she persuaded her father not to send the peddler away, and She wanted him to stay as their Christmas guest. The father finally gave in, so the peddler was allowed to stay at their home. But the peddler did not do anything except sleeping and eating. He was sleeping the whole time. It seemed as if he was after a very long time he found such a good place for having a sound sleep. Occasionally he was woken up and for the Christmas services, for giving the Christmas present. And Edla, an iron master, gave him a Christmas present of the suit he was wearing of the iron master. Now, now the concluding part where this peddler would change. The next morning, the iron master and his daughter they went to the church for Christmas service. They left the peddler at home who was still sleeping, so they did not disturb him and they went to the church. But when they returned from the church, Edla was very sad. Iron Master was furious because at the church they met the crofter. They came to know about the thievery at his home, and um, when the crofter described the person, they knew that it was the rat trap seller who was at their home. Now they thought that by the time they would reach home, the rat trap seller would have gone with all their valuables. So the first thing when they reached home was that they asked the servant about the rat trap seller. The servant said that the rat trap seller had gone. And then they told the servant that he was a thief. But the servant said that he did not take away anything from the home. Rather, he left a present for Edla. And he gave Edla that present, and it was very poorly wrapped, so anyone could see very easily that it was a rat trap. Edla opened the present, and three notes of 10 kronor, 30 kronor was there inside the rat trap. And there was also a letter. In that letter, it was written that Edla had treated him like a real captain. He also wanted to be nice to her. He wanted the money to be returned to the crofter. He further wrote that he would not have been able to escape the rat trap if he had not been raised to the status of a captain. He even signed that letter as a captain. It means he had changed. So here the story concludes um, where the compassion, where the love of a lady changed that rat trap seller, and he became a very respected person after that. So this is the story. Um, I've discussed the summary of this story in detail with you, and now I want that you go through the text. I will also be posting in the group the text, the story. So read the text, and then in the next video, I'll give you some questions for the comprehension. Thank you very much.